Eh,
Hello.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, everything's good. What about you? How was your day?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Nice. Good to hear. Yeah, I think it's been 2 weeks since our last session. There was a team session, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So,
think 2 weeks ago.
yeah. So, what's the latest news after the session so far? What kind of things you've been practicing and such?
The main thing we've been practicing as a team is like just still practicing, making sure we have plans and stuff, and like going down the checklist of like stuff we need to do, who's calming what, stuff like that. Um, Individually, I feel like I've been struggling though, and it's been leading to a lot of like fights lost and stuff like that. That's why I got this session because I feel like I'm kind of holding our team back in some aspects. I'm not communicating certain things. I'm not playing the best I should be.
Right.
Um, but as a team, I think we're doing a lot better, especially just being more proactive and understanding our role within the team.
Oh, yes. That's really good to hear. Yeah, I'm glad to be helpful for
Yeah.
your team. And yeah, with what you've been struggling, you mentioned that you've been struggling with timing and sometimes just over aggression, ending up a little bit too
Yeah.
far. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like my timing is really off. I feel like when Fluff Nuggets my tank, like when he goes in, I'm always too late or I'm too early to an engage. I'm not sure why,
Mm,
like the cues that cause that. I know one thing that I was gonna actually bring up because we're scrimming tonight. I'm gonna bring up to him is that,
of course.
um, like him specifying whether he's soft diving or like hard engaging. Because sometimes he'll soft dive, and then I'll just think, oh, he's hard engaging, and then I'll commit my dash
Mm.
or like 3 blinks in, and then he's like, oh, I'm just soft diving, and then he gets out, and then I'm like, oh, well, now now I'm stuck. So that's one thing I was gonna bring up to him today, so me and him can kind of collaborate on that, fix that synergy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really think timing has been a real issue with me, and I feel like I die early a lot.
Makes sense. Makes sense. I think there are a few ways to also solve it with your tank. Obviously, communication, but you can also just be active thinking, what are we just calling out? How do you call out that soft dive? Yeah, it's because I think might be a little bit clunky sometimes in the team environment. Well,
Right.
you call soft dive, well, it's just a little bit, you need one word, maybe just something else. You can always come out with your own language, it's just with any sports, you have this one word terminology and you do that play, certain play, that's okay. If you can come up with that, whatever you
Yeah.
like, whatever the word. So
Yeah.
you can communicate it pretty briefly. Okay, we're doing this. I don't know, just baiting something. Well, baiting is kind of general, but I don't know, something you can come up with, and then later you can just know what is gonna to happen. But yeah, this is good
Yeah.
communication. Also looking, scouting information. I think this is a good one. Okay, so timing mainly. Is there anything else you think?
Um, More consistent, like with Dragon Blade specifically, because I play a lot of Genji, right?
Yeah.
Like with Dragon Blade, like itself, I feel like I used to be really consistent with it. Like I would always get some sort of value out of it a good chunk of the time. But now I feel like I just struggle getting value out of it. There's some games where I'm like using it well, even if it's like one kill, I make sure it's a good kill, like a good trade on like an Ana or something. But like recently, I feel like I pop it and I just kind of explode. Like I don't even get value out of it. And I feel like that could be timed, or
Yeah.
that could
Mm.
be like associated with the timing. Maybe I'm doing it too early when it should be more of like a mid fight ultimate. Um, so like they have all their cooldowns and everything like that. I'm not baiting or forcing anything, so that could be tied to it as well. But I feel like mainly in scrims, in ranked, not so much, but mainly in scrimmages and matches, I really struggle to get value with Blade.
Makes sense. Yeah, maybe timing, maybe your setup, stuff like that. We can definitely
Yeah.
take a look and check.
Okay.
Yeah, mostly it's usually, if we're talking about the blade, it's so important with the timing pressure.
Yeah.
So that's true. Okay, but yeah, let's look into that. And I think everything you would have mentioned before makes sense. Your playtime, I think that's all right. You might potentially be thinking about pushing your playtime towards the high end a little bit more because of the rank. But yeah,
Yeah,
because currently your rank is pretty high, and to get even to the high rank might be even better if you can increase it. But I think first of all, just making sure the efficiency of your time, the play time, is pretty decent and should be all
yeah.
right. Yeah, yeah, okay. All right, and the hero pool to Genji to Ace I think that's completely fine. That is good too. Okay, then we can start with the replay. We can take a look at the one you sent me. If you have enough time, we can also look at the second one. Is that sounds good with you?
Yeah, that worked. These were ranked games. I had scrim VODs, but then the update came out and they reset, and I haven't scrimmed since. So these are ranked games. But in these ranked games, I was playing with my tank Fluff Nuggets to like, cause me and him queue a lot. So there'll
Nice.
still be kind of that synergy, just a little bit.
Nice. That's good. That's good. We can take a look and see. Maybe there is something we can also pay attention to. Just how you engage around the tank. All right, the
Right.
new characters in the game right now too. Everybody is
Yeah.
playing the character.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the usual stuff. Okay, well, it's kind of don't think it's too suitable for this first map, but well, it's alright, sort of. Yeah, okay. We got you anyway playing with the Winston, quite good synergy. And by the way, can you see the stream?
Yes. Yeah.
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 Okay. Perfect. You should have okay synergy here. The Lucio can support you with dives. Anna's grenade can also support the dive too. That is something what we can maybe hard engage around, but yeah, usually you're trying to time your engagements around the bubble. Something to watch out for. Yeah, let's watch. Actually, when you've been trying to fix the timing problem, what have you been trying to do to make sure you're synchronizing with with your team in general? Obviously, communication is one part, but is there anything else? What have you been trying to do?
Um, I struggle a little bit with tunnel vision, so I've tried to like kind of slow down my play. To really analyze and look around the map and see where my tank is, what's he doing, or am I going to be an LOS if I engage here? Where are my supports? Just kind of taking a breather and like
Yeah,
taking the time to really analyze what's going on the field before I hard engage. That's what I would say the main thing I've been trying to practice to
right.
kind of help it.
Yeah, right. And so, how that went for you? You think is it something what helped you out, or or you think it's just not as much helping you
I
out at the
think
moment? Mm-hmm.
yeah, I think it for sure did help it. I think the main issue is me doing that consistently. There's times where like the tunnel vision will kick in. It's like, oh, I get a kill. It's like, okay, I don't care what my team's doing. I'm hard engaging. I'm going on a flank. I'm doing what I want. Like just
Yeah.
solo play kind of mindset. Yeah, when
So
I
you
do it, it works out, but it's just a problem of consistently doing that.
Yeah, and that tunnel vision happens right after you get a kill, or
If I see like an opportunity, like if I see like if the call is on something else, like say there's a Lucio out of position and whatever,
yeah.
the call is a Lucio, but I see an Ana and she's closer to me, and I feel like I could win that duel better. I'll kind of ignore what was said and I'll just go on the Ana, and then
Because it's also
I'll just be
not.
in my own zone.
Yeah, it's also not too bad being on your own. Sometimes if you see that the opportunity present itself, you just want to be able to identify a few triggers. Yeah, if we when we look into commit after the Ana, well, what kind of resources we gotta watch out for? Sleep Dart Nade, for example, and then
Right,
also what their position, what's your position, and you can definitely make that commitment. I'm just thinking, are we just reading the information correctly? Yeah, maybe there's just the time when you need to do that a little bit more, kind of not as the downtime points, and just be able to
right.
scout between those. Yeah, making sure there's more consistent habits. So far, you've been scouting information at what times exactly? Just before the fight, or what been the
Usually
moments?
just pre-fight, and then just like general target calling. If I see something
Mm,
important, I'll try my best to say it.
okay.
But for like full on scouting and like really talking my head off, it's mainly pre-fight.
Yeah, yeah, okay. I think it's fine. Yeah. So that means because you're doing that P fight already, it's a big help. So we just need to simply solve how you scout mid fight and maybe after the fight. Well, after it's just kind of pre-fight anyway, but yeah, it's just almost the
Right.
same. But mid-fight, I think, is the hardest, probably. So
Yeah.
you just want to find those moments of downtime when you can actually look around and check. So let's see, let's see. Okay, we're starting here. It's just normal poking. There's where you kind of can start thinking about what is going to happen. Yeah, even pre-fight, also doing some anticipation. Just whoever going to be fighting is Winston. Yeah, even this part here, you guys taking the high ground. There's also the part of the pre-fight. I think this is alright. Can just try to exist here. Okay, and this is where it will become more complicated. The more the fight develops, the harder it's gonna be. You need to find the moments of downtime. Okay, so let's just take a look. Yeah, first of all, how the engagement is gonna be. And it seems so your Winston's diving in really far. Yeah, it trying to contribute. Yes. Yeah, what's your thoughts on this one? In terms of the timing, it's just how it looks to you.
I think he called that he was going on that, so I just tried my best to like commit because he was talking like it was going to be a full commit. So that's I was
Yeah.
like, okay, I should be good to use my dash here to.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little far, um, but I think it's okay.
Yeah, kind of worked out at the end. Yeah, it
Yeah.
seems. Mm. Yeah, I think it's possible. Not necessarily want to. Sometimes if just not, if the map is not allowing you to be really close to the target, I think yeah, it's not too bad. Kind of in a dash distance, so worked out. The timing seems okay. You can also try to just escape afterwards. Yeah, exactly like commit the dash, get a kill, stabilize. And then you can think about something what does more pressure like that brick that did bait out. For some reason they use the bash, so you can just kill them.
Yeah.
Okay. This fight should be one. Okay. Now let's switch a little bit more.
Yeah, which I will say, this point we played really well. It was the second point that was
Second
like
point.
we got second point we got stomped, and then third point is really close.
Hmm. Do you want to start watching with the second
Yeah,
point?
we honestly probably could, because I that first point, me and Fluff Nuggets, we were really in sync and we were kind of tearing them up. But it was second point is when
Hmm.
it really started to go downhill.
And you also playing Tracer here. What was the
Yes, I think
reason? Mm-hmm.
I started Tracer. I think it was trying to remember. I think it was because like the further like angles and stuff, it was like I feel like it's a little easier
Yeah.
to close that gap as Tracer than on Genji.
Yeah. Okay.
So I was thinking like wrap around for the on and stuff. Plus as Tracer, I feel like I can stay in my angle a little longer,
Yeah, that's
so I can be
true.
a little bit more aggressive.
Yeah, yeah, more sustain there for sure. Okay, let's keep watching. Yeah, we can definitely do that. Taking the deep angle on the right side. Try to win that first. If there's nobody, then we can just use that to our advantage. Yeah, let's see how that goes. Okay, going on Diana, you made a commitment, and then you are recalling out. Then there's a tension on you, and then you have to go back. That's when the struggle happens. Okay, so just starting with again the same thing, it's just the timing, huh? Just thinking about what are we doing in the current moment. Is it the best time for us? What's his thoughts? How it
It's way
feels
too
like?
early, I think.
Not too early, but why? What is that based on?
Uh, I feel like my team's not like it'd be really hard for them to close the distance because like I was wanting to either kill the Ana or force a cooldown, and I didn't get either. But if I got either of those, I think my team's too far to capitalize. Plus, my team's not far up to like kind of like split that attention. I
Hmm.
feel like the enemy team's in a position where they can all just look at me
Hmm.
because my team's still walking up and I'm all the way in.
Right. So, what specifically you expect from the enemy team to do with their cooldowns? What kind of maybe pressure you expect before committing for this play? What do you think?
The pressure I can expect from them
Yeah. What
as
the
I go in, the nade and a brig bash.
Nade Brig Bash? Okay. Well, what if this never happens? Then what? What do you think?
Uh, I
How
don't
to
know.
play? Well, maybe there's one part the air team. Yeah, I'm just thinking. Let's just say maybe not only resources, but what about the positional commitment? What do you expect from the enemy team to do as well?
Like what do I expect the enemy team to do? Like just
Before
from this
before
point on.
committing, yeah, before committing. So what is that about? All that pressure, yeah, because you can kind of expose those weak points, yeah. Whenever they use something, they make a commitment. So I'm thinking, what about their positional commitment then? What they could be doing, like something you can punish. Is there something to punish from their position if they're trying to just do stuff on the map? Yeah, think about.
The diva being really far from the Ana.
Okay, yeah, so this is what I want you to think about, yeah? Just all those moments when those guys are making a commitment, and remember in our team reviews, we talked about those kill zones, so kill boxes. If there's
Yeah.
somebody walking in your space and the pressure happens, I think you can look to just
Battery
be
critical.
be some, be more active a little bit more on the field. So you notice this diva, and she's walking a little bit, but then the pressure starts. But then the question is that really big commitment at the moment, or there should be something else? Yeah, probably might be expecting a little bit more pressure generated. Yeah, because as you can see, I think even for your Winston, just might be a little bit difficult to get the value. You see how we're trying to get there, right? And
Yeah.
just it's so easy for them to counter your push in the way that they only have to use cheap stuff to play around that. So I think you just need bigger commitment. Just watch. I'm usually thinking something like you already mentioned the big resources, right? But it just also can be combined with the positioning. Yeah, like looking at our team. So this pre-fight looking, okay, what's happening? Those guys, most of them are attacking. Yeah, anything happens towards the kill zone, and then I think it's not too bad to wrap around and fight alone. You can 1v1 anyone, especially as Tracer. I think it's a lot of times what you might end up doing. Just make sure there's something happening in the kill zones. But this is about the pre-fight. Okay, it's something what you've been
Right.
already doing yet. So this moment of time, you just kind of look around, check what is going on, yeah, and you see, well, maybe if it looks good, then you decide, yeah, maybe Marvinson commits the jump, then there is something happens. It feels like okay, maybe it's a good time, but make sure this is happening, okay, and then after, let's watch. Yeah, so this is just after you blink towards them. Yeah, we're just also thinking those other things you can scout, okay? Because it's not only about you looking around and checking for the rest of your team. You can also scout something what makes it easy for you to get a kill. Let's say you're trying to get a kill on Diana, okay? What is the
Mhm.
information for you too important to know to make it easy for you to get a kill on her? Like, what do you, besides the resources, okay, what else makes it easy for you to get Diana? Let's put it this way.
Um,
So like in this,
she's kind of alone.
yeah, well,
I mean, the
she,
brig's close, but not that close, if that makes sense. And the
right,
diva's far,
okay,
and Cass isn't close either. I'm not in the Cass LOS, and I'm on the off angle, so she's not looking
mm,
at me, so she's gonna have to turn.
sure, okay. So it's just their position, yeah, maybe their isolation. I want you to watch this. Do you notice their body language? What they're doing at the moment?
Is it still paused on the?
Yeah, it's post.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay, okay. I
yeah,
see.
exactly. But well, I can't just do this way.
Yeah, I see.
What are they doing?
Scoped in.
Yeah, they're scoped in. So what that means for you?
Harder for her to see me, I guess.
Yes, and what that means?
Yeah. I probably didn't have to commit so many blinks to that.
Yeah, so here you go. All those things, because you scout for their body language, you scout what are they doing. Currently, it's
Right.
harder, but you have to. You can, and you can
Yeah.
also do the pre-fight. Okay, we can kind of separate the pre-fight. I do that scouting in the enemy. Let's say, yeah, I'm just gonna put it this way: how to make the target killable. Okay, you mentioned positioning. That's good. Also, we want to look at the body language. It might be there. them being scoped in. Maybe they're distracted with something. Maybe there's something else. Just with how maybe they reload, for example. That also makes it easy. But see, you kind of committing like they already see you. You're being so
Right.
fast where I don't think it's too necessary at the moment. Of course, they can hear you, but you can also take your time. You see, this guy is not even aware of you. You can scout
Yeah.
that. You see, okay, wait a minute. They're not aware. So what you could be doing, well, maybe, I don't know, walk a little bit, try to double blink instead of triple, and then kind of take your time and shoot. Just normal. You can even stand still, yeah? Thinking about that, yeah?
Yeah.
Why? It's not too bad, too. Just be careful because they might turn around, and then you need to prepare the blinks after. The good
Right.
is they will try to, they'll try to do that. I'd say technically as well. If you're trying to make it easier for you as well to perform, usually there's a technical thing about any dive characters. You're trying to do more diagonal kind of pressure because those guys, whenever you play against the high rank, usually have good enough muscle memory to do either good 90 turns just like this, it's just normal perpendicular turn, or 180 turns. In those games it's also normal, so you're trying to position yourself somewhere diagonally like this, and it
Mhm.
makes it even harder for them typically. Okay, I'm not saying it's all the time. Of course, you play against ML7 and you get slapped probably too on those angles, but anyway,
Right.
you will be, because it solves off they aim, you see them turning, you can try to make the decision to move later with your blinks, or in the case of the Genji, you start using your deflect, or maybe use your dash or something, I don't know. Just making sure it's more diagonal makes it so much easier. Yeah, does it make
Okay.
sense?
Yeah, that's actually really cool.
Yeah. It's one of the things we talking about on Tracer, because so many small technical things to you, to what you're doing. All right, let's watch. Yeah, and this is where the fight's kind of over, so you have to just reset, and then
Yeah.
yeah, let's see. At this point of time, it's maybe trying to do some sort of pressure, trying to stall, but there's not much you can do. Okay, decided to go Genji actually. Why is that? So,
I think it was mainly comfort.
mhm.
Um, because I'm in the process of trying to get better at Tracer. I think it's probably mainly comfort, and
Hmm,
I feel more confident in a duel as Genji than Tracer, just because. Yeah, I'd probably just say comfort.
that's all right.
The first engage didn't do good with Tracer, so I was like, maybe it's just me being on Tracer, so let me just comfort pick back to Genji.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense, I think, and it worked before too. So why not just keep playing
Right.
the Genji too? Yeah, just kind of have enough confidence versus those guys already, so can keep playing the character too. It's just a little bit chaotic at the start. You just don't have time to do anything, to be honest. You
Right.
can only punish this here. Yeah, this is good. At this point of time, you just need to fully reset, making sure you stay alive, kind of poke out a little. Yeah, okay. Moving in, and yeah, get information too. Yeah, let's keep watching what happens. Noticing the isolated Ana. Okay, so this is when they kind of know. Yeah, they clearly saw you.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've been shooting you too. What are we trying to deflect here?
I was just predicting the. I think it's just like force of habit too. Plus, I was predicting a sleep most likely.
Right. Based on their body language, what are they doing?
Not even looking at me.
They're not looking at you, but see what they're trying to do now. Just watch them for a short period of time. That's what the... Okay. So, I see they're trying to nade, run away, they're really low. I see. They're trying to throw off your aim at the moment. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is just... It's called dodging, okay? Whenever there's big emphasis on not pressuring, but just trying to make sure to throw off your aim. So during this time, you probably don't expect them to hit the shot right away. Yeah, they will typically try to do their first movement, go somewhere. Maybe it's left, maybe it's right. Yeah, they probably predict you trying to predict that it'll try to move this way, but then they're like, oh no, yeah, I actually know that you're trying to predict me, so they're trying to move left.
Yeah.
Okay, and then they saw if you aim this way, and this point of time, well, they might hit the sleep dart later, but you just need to watch if this body language happens actually. So it's definitely the point, yeah, between when they do dodging, okay, they done this pattern, you know that. Well, maybe they see you off, you aim perfect, but then only later it is kind of the action performed later they might do that, yeah, then later they might be sleeping or maybe they might be doing something else, so you have to prepare, but not now, yeah, just a little bit too fast. Body
Yeah.
language, yes, scout that, yeah, just looking at the attention. Okay, I'm just gonna keep that, let's just say attention, but also what they're doing with the animations. Let's put it this way, animations, it's you watching them scoped in, for example, or you watching them whenever they use sleep dart, how the animation looks. Okay, let's just maybe
Yeah.
zoom in and wait for the moment once they use the sleep dart. Yeah, they're not using sleep dart even, they just yeah,
Yeah.
but see, the animation, there's for every single thing in the game, there's animation, so you don't have to react to the bullets. You can just react to the animations. You kind of predict those, first off. So see, for example, now, the pressure happens here, okay, they're getting pressured, and then you see there's a hand animation. It's kind of
Yep.
similar, but it just acts a little bit differently at Sleep Dart, yeah,
Mhm.
and you just have to look at that first of all, and then you make a decision to use something, maybe your deflag typically, maybe something else like wall climb, just try to throw them off, but yeah, definitely not doing it right away, it feels. Yeah, it's just some small things really. I don't think it's too bad to maybe try to go on them, just potentially
Yeah.
staying alive a little bit longer. Is it deflect? Okay. Pressure. Okay, or yes, das pushing in. Yeah, sure, there's a beat. Maybe can ignore the setup a little more. Kinda uncomfortable. Yeah. What do you think about disengagement? Anything to tweak in here?
Was he already nooning when I dashed towards him?
It's kind of. Yeah, let me see again.
Or is it just like perfectly timed?
It's just kind of, yeah, almost. Wait. Wanna. Okay, so beat starts. They probably should start high noon like really soon. Wait, they're roll and high noon? Yeah. Yeah, so the high noon, I think you're trying to dash because they're pretty low. Is that what happens? Yeah. Or,
Yeah, I saw that he was low, so I thought I could get the kill on him real quick.
Yeah. So what do you think?
I think I should have noticed that my monkey already used bubble and jump on the right side, so he's not going to be looking at that cast, so I'm going to be on this cast pretty much alone. I think maybe playing more right side with my monkey would have been better.
Maybe. Yeah, it just might be the part of the communication, but see, I think it's one of the points where all of the scout information also happens mid-fight, okay? So maybe you've been scouting before, the pre-fight, so for example now, it's easy to do the scouting, right? Then, do you notice any points of downtime where you can also scout the information that you gotta play for the monkey? You're kind of near them. Yeah, let's just see. Start here, use a D flag, monkey goes there, notice that, but then you notice there's a beat, then you go in, and then the monkey dives in, you commit the dash. So what do you think? You notice any points of downtime where it's easy to scout for you?
I think like right before I dashed when I was kind of jiggling that pillar, I could have took a second to read the room.
Yeah, for example, it might be that, okay. You can also, because at the higher tier, your shooting should be not your primary thing. A lot of times, it's all about the information, first of all. So see, there's a downtime between your shots. So ideally, you can also even think about those shots as your points of downtime. Yeah, like this pillar, I think that's good enough. Okay, so I'm gonna write it down. Yeah, let's just say, oh, behind cover. Yeah, if you're behind cover, why not? That's a good one. Maybe when using deflect, yeah, we can also do
Yeah.
that. You can also try to scout between the shots too, but that's gonna be a harder one. But at least you're gonna be put in the habit of just looking with your peripheral vision and everything. So see like each shot there, and well, first so behind the pillar, yeah, scouting, but even now, just between those shots, kind of looking around, checking what's happening. So it's easier for you to make a decision. So it's not just purely shooting. Shooting should be more. It should be kind of automatic already. Well, of course, there's a part just readjusting the crosshair a little bit, yeah, choosing the right target. But scouting information, looking around, this can be done between the shots too. You actually see some of the players, they kind of jiggle the camera a little, especially during the reloads too. Yeah, those can be also the moments of downtime. Might seem a little bit small, but yeah, the best players, they also do that if possible. You just on the characters like Sigma, on the characters like with slow aiming as well. Yeah, Sigma is right away the good one. I don't know, just like with any character, Ash, for example, is too. When you typically reload quite a lot. Yeah, it's like when you reload or it just takes time, a lot of time between the shots. Might be something you can be doing. Unfortunately, it's just the start. The first fight didn't go well, and then you guys get snowballed 2 fights in a row too, which is
Right.
unlucky. But yeah,
Yeah, I
happens.
think this one was a little bit more back and forth.
Hmm. And as your scouting starts, yeah, you kind of start looking. Yeah, well, what my team does, and then okay, so got caught on the aim. Okay, so what is the problem about you getting information here? I think it's fine. You're looking, seeing what's happening, and then deciding to commit towards the right side. Fine. What's the problem?
I scouted that little bit of high ground as well as like that little tiny bit of point, and I
Hmm.
didn't see. I only saw 3 people, so I should assume that one of the 2 people I didn't see might be on this angle with me.
That's one. Okay. Why this guy? Why it's so easy for this guy to kill you? Like, why he's so ready?
He probably just assumed I'll take that angle. I'm not sure.
Yeah, but why? You've been so. Can you hear the sounds as well?
Oh yeah, I'm just running.
Yeah. This is gonna be big one too. Whenever you're scouting, you have to be a little bit more sneaky on the dive characters, usually because your footsteps, yeah, it's just one of the things you gotta keep in mind.
Yeah.
That's why crouch. That's why you don't have to walk as much. I think your footsteps are not too loud, like compared to Reapers, for example, because those are really,
Right.
really loud. But still, something to keep in mind. You cannot allow yourself running if you're scouting right now. You just have to be carefully looking. Yeah, go in the cast later. I think it's fine. Tracer, well, Tracer can work for the map control. You guys have Brawl comp, so cast is not too bad too. Yeah, but let's see. I definitely have to play for faster engagements. And of course we keep those two Freyas, yeah, let's see. These guys
Right.
just don't swap. Just playing.
Yeah.
Alright. Did you have a chance to play the character?
Me, I played her when like that first test or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, she's kind of a little bit of everything.
Yeah. I think she's a lot of fun.
Okay, well, we got on the right side and then rotating through when your team's on the left, and you got the Diva, which is should give you the point of advantage. Yeah, getting stuck a little. You guys technically have so much map control, so yeah, you just generated so much pressure. I don't think there's a way you lose this. Right, yeah, you managed to clean up just all that map control you got. So big, even though you got they picked one of you guys off.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, looks okay. Yeah, it's kind of soft triangles. Okay, scouting. Somebody takes that too. All right.
It's just kind of the same thing.
Yeah, well, this guy's careful. See what they do. Yeah, let's see them crouching. Yeah, that's something you gotta do to be careful. If you don't know the info 100%, of course, you can also do the partially. If really confident that they run the corner, just start walking, jump, and peek out first. Try to have that advantage. Yeah, but yeah, they can hear you. It's one of
Yeah.
the biggest things. Obviously, you can be more confident if there's something with you, but now there's no advantage point, so try to create it somehow. At least with the movement there. Yeah, and I also using the right click on you. Yes. See, it's just partially the timing, sure, maybe, but at the same time, I don't think it's too bad to push 1-in-1. It can be okay. Is there anything else besides the movement you think you should be doing in those cases? When pushing those guys to deal 1v1? Yeah.
Like what else I should be doing? Like right here.
Yeah, what do
Um,
you think? Is there anything else to add? Or if there's anything, of course.
yeah, I personally can't think of anything. Just being more careful. Maybe
Yeah.
taking a wider angle instead of hugging that wall like that. Like walk in the room
Hmm.
and like a more of like more wide instead of so close to that wall, to where I can kind of see more.
Well, sure. At the same
Maybe
time,
that's like a little thing.
yeah. If we're just talking about the use scout information, you see where you're looking with your camera as well? How you should be looking with your camera when you do this, when you enter here. You see where your camera should go right away? Right? Not just stop.
A doorway.
Doorway where? The right side?
Yeah, because it's the closest
Yeah.
one to me.
Yeah. It's just the
Yeah.
meat fight. Okay, that's really specific, but when you entering any sort of space, you play diverse, you play doesn't matter what. You usually need to check corners. Simply, you need to look around. You need to see what's going on. If you're not sure, your it's either enemy space or it's the space which is gonna be contested. Yeah, we kind of have these points in the middle. Usually, that there's gonna be your contested space you fight for. You don't know what's happening exactly. Of course, the ping system can give you an advantage, but there's no way. Yeah, you enter. If you played games like CS2, actually recently I've been playing some of that with my friends. It's just insanely
Yeah.
important. You need to check the corners. It's partially the same thing with this game too. You gotta keep in mind if you're not checking this, then it's so easy for them to get you. And yeah,
Yeah.
being careful too, of course. Partially game sense, anticipation where they are, but I think it's harder, been harder at the position where we've been. I don't think you can exactly predict where they are, so yeah, you just gotta check every corner. Scout every corner. Yeah, do you have any questions maybe about anything so far, or everything's been clear?
No, not so far. Everything's
Yeah.
been making sense.
Yeah. So much about information, scouting. Well, let's see the fight. If it goes wrap around, not bad, yeah. Getting caught a little, but the ultimate. What do you think is the play with this? How do
I
you
think
think?
I was just being too greedy. Like that guy, the cast ulted, and I'm still like trying to jiggle it. I need to just back up.
Yeah, just kind of play slower. So go back towards here, towards
Yeah,
the
and play
team.
with my team. Yeah.
Yeah, well, not too bad. Yeah. You're also responding with your beat. Yeah, you definitely have a lot of ultimates to respond with. How do you use your ultimate versus those guys? Because you have yours. So, what do you think?
Um, I forget how I used it, but I would think to. I like using cast ult when they're like engaging. I don't want them to be like not fully engaged yet, because then they can just
Yeah.
kite it. So more mid fight when they're on their engage.
As there's a
That's how
way
I'd like to use
somehow
it.
to set up your ultimate because they about to engage, right?
Right.
So, what is there any play we can do or just wait it
Maybe
out?
starting out far right.
All right. One of the possibilities. I see what it requires you to do then. Yeah? Like, what are we scouting now? Mid fight. Okay? To be able to make that decision, what information makes it easy for you to make that decision to go all the way far right now? What is happening on the field?
The diva is going on my back line,
Mm.
using her boosters so she can't chase
Oh,
me.
that's
And then the
one.
rest of them are kind of clumped up, and they don't really. Diva's the only one with a real movement ability to chase me down. She's using it right now, and then the rest
Okay.
of them are kind of clumped up.
Yeah, good, good. These, yes. Even the bigger stuff, what are they using now? You see that? Just maybe zoom. See this? This Brig ultimate?
Yeah,
Right?
Bergal, yeah.
Right. Okay. So if they have that, if they have that advantage, then usually that means for you, because again, you're able to scout that. You hear, okay, ultimates, that is happening. Okay, then what it tells you usually with your position is you can answer. Yeah, especially with your ultimate somehow. Yeah, you just need to set up your advantage. Now they have their advantage. They're gonna be pushing, but you can push them back. So get ready and set up for it. Yeah. So definitely not being here, but just wrap around. Keep going the right side. I think. At least, yeah, to start making that decision. Maybe if they use gas, the
Yeah.
ultimate, you start acting different later. But it's definitely not being here. It seems, yeah, because it's just no direction with this whatsoever. Yeah, especially when they have those two ultimates now being used, and it just generates so much pressure right now. And I think they use Freya ultimate, right? Yeah, they use Sura ultimate too, so that's 3 ultimates actually. So much
Right.
pressure. Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's see, are we gonna get to the point where you're able to use it? No, it seems like we have to swap. Yeah, go fast character. Yeah, there was isolated target. Quickly kill them. Let's watch this from what we discussed as well. The small stuff. Yeah, is it there? To the body language maybe too. Okay, you starting here. This mid fight. Okay, the sleep dart is used, so this is definitely an easy trigger. Okay, what is scout for?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cooldown.
Right.
Yeah. Now they're low. They use both nade sleep. Easy kill. Half HP. Yeah,
Right.
that's good. There's no need to scout anything else even. Right. Steel brush is over. Now it's stabilized. Okay, keep poking. Yes, sure. We'll climb up on the right wall. Still scouting information there is so important. Yeah, the Cassidy might come up the left side. Yeah. His sleep dart is used, and this used cooldown too. What do you think about this engage there? Looks like this
I
rig is
I
low.
went
It
on the
should
brick because she was one.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just so solo. Just kind of mechanical mess up then, probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think could have killed that. I don't think it's a bad decision. Yeah, he just kind of missed everything that happens.
Yeah. I
It's
think like maybe tiny thing I dash in front of her so I get the mini
mm,
before she does.
yeah, yeah. That's another thing. Yeah,
But
you're 100% right. It's just like with the tracer, you need to steal all of that.
yeah.
So yeah, I don't think it's so bad. Even ending up in front of her, well, yeah, yeah, 100%. Okay. Yeah, they're able to stabilize at the end. It's just so unfortunate. I think
Right.
it was good enough to try. Tiny bit of the positioning could save us, maybe. Yeah. I guess gonna win or lose. Win? Yeah, it's won.
I think we
Oh,
win. Yeah.
nice. Yeah, it was pretty close. You're right. Yeah, interesting. Interesting games for sure. Okay. Maybe any questions about anything?
Not so far.
Yeah.
I have another code up we
Yeah.
can look at for like 15 minutes or so because I do have a scrim, but
Of
let me get
course.
this one pulled up.
Yeah. Let's do
Uh,
that. Okay, so far
dude.
scouting downtime. Yeah, was a lot about that. Yeah, let's watch maybe a little bit more. If you're gonna have any questions about anything else, then we can go over that as well.
Here's that one.
Yeah.
We can look at that one a little bit.
But yeah,
Yeah,
you're
no, this
definitely
is
right.
all super helpful.
I think scout information, you can just find those tiny beats of details, so you know the autopilot. You just intentionally scouting whatever you can. Body language. You also find the right timing to do that. Just to questions what you scout when you scout. Yeah, like we did with the planning. Yeah, what, when, and where you do things.
Yeah. Right.
So you can also do the same. Yeah, actually, we've been talking about with. Yeah, well, when with where it's only been just kind of behind the cover, yeah, you also can scout a little bit more, but yeah, mostly just two questions: what and when. Okay, interesting pathing. So you walk all the way down there. Hmm. So what was the plan here?
My idea was going down there instead of like the mid, is because I feel like I always get poked out like really
Hmm.
early when I go down mid. I think I only do this once, this first fight, and then I start going mid with my monkey.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Just what is the goal at the end then? Once you get here, what are you looking for? Just, mm-hmm.
I don't, based off looking at this, but I don't know what I was doing then. I think what I was trying to do is, I don't know, really.
Yeah,
I
because
guess to
this can
clear the
work.
distance.
Just depends on, yeah. Because you see, if we're trying to clear the distance was what? If it's this high ground, I think this is reasonable. However, if it's this high ground,
Yeah.
then it's not as
Yeah,
reasonable.
exactly. I think it was where the Ana is. Like in hindsight, yeah, I should just climb up and force the Kiri and the Sombra out, but I think it was so to get on that Ana.
Yeah,
So not too
yeah.
good.
It's just kind of usually if there's long range pressure you need to create the distance with, they're gonna be positioned upright anyways. So
Right.
I would question this pathing unless there's something unusual. Yeah, like maybe them setting up on this high ground, then it's okay. Or maybe I don't know. Maybe there's something you can do with your blade play or something. But yeah, usually it's difficult from here. If they had positioned upright, they're still able to poke you out. Yeah, you're kind of able to time the pressure with the Winston a little bit more there afterwards, but okay. It seems partially the setup. Okay, yeah, this position definitely feels easier. You afterwards just gotta make sure transition. You kind of self dive this high ground, you clear all of that, and then later you can hard dive, and you can also play literally like this way, just down there. They're not able to shoot you at least this high ground. Of course, you need to clear that too if you want, but. It's just if you're afraid of this long range pressure, then that's alright. They don't have anything strong to peel as well. They just kind of position. Well, there's no brig. There's maybe no too much burst pressure too. So I think you're okay with trying to dive the backline. Like Ash, yeah. But they can't do much. They will just try to give up all the space you gotta live after the bubble. And then yeah, so like this is exactly when you can stabilize. Yeah, a little bit difficult. Okay. What's the play once we finish the dive here? What do you think? Oh, this
I
seems a little
think
bit difficult.
I don't even know. I think I stay there and stabilize, so then maybe I'm in the LOS of a support or something
Yeah. You see,
instead
it's
of
definitely
dashing that way.
not. Yeah, it's definitely not committing to one of the stops because I I think it's just so hard. Just get the passive
Yeah.
going or something. Maybe I don't know. Try to give up some space if your team's stabilizing, but
Yeah.
not doing that. Not going towards the angle. So
Uh-uh.
not dead. And then you see the dives happening eventually. Maybe Winston dives in this. Okay, well I can commit later. You also might have the support speaking you out, but they only got Zen, so it will be
Yep.
complicated. The warp was on
Right.
the Winston. Yeah, a lot about the setup. The first point is a little bit annoying and definitely, but yeah, you
Right.
guys can break through the rework as well. This point got reworked. It's been even harder before. Yeah, so kind of taking this, stabilizing. Okay, this is much better. If you're able to create the distance this way, the right side, you went through actually.
Yeah.
I think,
Let's be more patient, taking my time like that, yeah.
yeah. And then you actually get in and you kind of, almost killed them, but it's just the poke. What do you think is the play right
I think
now?
I should just. I think I should hang out until my monkey re-engages or is ready to
Mm,
re-engage with me, so I'm not alone.
yeah,
Or
yeah, I
maybe wait
guess.
for their monkey to go in on something else.
Yeah, you see, like, we talked about the kill zone. I think there's nothing happening right now. Your
Right.
Venture's disengaging underground. There is something else, like, here. There's no pressure whatsoever. I think you need to just make sure there's commitment in the kill zone, and then after you can do something. See, this is what usually happens pre-fight. Yeah, mid-fight, yeah, of course there's action in the kill zone, but pre-fight, check if there's actual commitment before. Like anything, maybe Winston jumps in. Okay, well then you can decide to go after the Ash. Some other small details, maybe it's also if you actually make the commitment, you gotta be fast looking after something what's killable. Yeah, if you know there's Ash, well, I want to make commitment faster. So these guys will not poke you. Yeah, they kind of get you to half HP at the end. So,
Right.
a little bit difficult, but yeah. Still traded at 101. Yeah, managed to get the pick, the tick. Yeah, nice. Okay.
Yeah, that's so bad.
Alright, alright. We get better spawn anyway. Oh, nice. Hit them. Okay. This is diving. Stealing the top. What do you think now? Let's just go back a little. And
I don't think I
also,
commit dash there.
why not? Um, the commitment, just in general, what are we looking for? You see, okay, what's happening right now?
There's a whole bunch of stuff going on my back line. Both
Mm-hmm.
supports are focused on the monkey, so they can't look at me if stuff goes south on my end.
Yeah, so, yeah. What do you think is the play then?
I think I don't know. Care the monkey or just kind of hang out in the room I'm in, or maybe
Can
just
you
poke
clear
from
the
that
monkey
door.
though at all? Like remember the example when you've been playing Tracer and the Diva's down in your backline, right? You cannot clear the Diva when you've been taking deep angle on the right side. Yeah? It
Right.
was previous map. It's kind of a similar situation. Okay. So what's happening if the Diva is making a commitment? What are we looking for usually?
To actually do go on something, so maybe I
Yeah.
go on the Curie.
Yeah, so it's a good decision. Yeah, because the commitment happens in the kill zone. You cannot clear the Nounded Monkey too, especially
Yeah,
with the
right.
primal. You
Yeah.
you cannot do that. And there's transcendence anyway, so yeah, it's okay. Just the trades happen. You dive their backline, they dive yours. Okay, it's just who is better at that, then this team wins. Yeah, it's just only looking at the quality of the pressure, how you pressure. So, what do you think? Pressure itself is good, but yeah, how, and what are you looking for? What do you think?
Think I don't know. I'm not really sure. I think maybe like instead of just walking out and dashing, I like poke a little bit to like try and force something and then
Mm.
full commit maybe. Instead of just turning that corner and just full dashing.
Who do you fight now? You fight Kiri, you fight Ash, or you fight this, or yeah, what do you? What's your attention should be on?
I personally would prefer to fight that Ash because the Curie can get away quicker and
Mm.
easier, so I'm more likely to get a pick on the Ash, I feel like.
Mm. Oh, I know Dana.
She's a little far, but I could.
Maybe, yeah.
Plus that
Can isolate.
if I go to the Ana, I'm 100% have to commit my dash, and then I'm in the open to get poked
Mm.
out by the Curie and the
Mm.
Ash.
I think it's good to if you're able to just clear the angles. I think it's not too bad for sure. Yeah, it's just like only if you recognize there's such an easy opportunity to get a kill. I think then this is possible to kind of commit after them. But yeah, you make a right decision. Commit after the Ash. Well, I mean, just commit in general. Yeah, pressure. Why not? And then you push them out. So yeah, I don't think it's too bad of a commitment, to be honest. You also play around the corners pretty okay too, right? So it's not like
Yeah.
you're out in the open. You also see their body language too. You've taken the 1v1, they're scoped in, they're looking at you, so you're exactly gonna be using your deflect. Yeah, so this is good deflect too. It's not like it's been what's been happening before, where you use your resources a little bit too early, I think, or a little bit too much, a little bit too fast. Yeah, it seems right on point,
Yeah.
to be honest. Yeah, all of the body language, all of the points solved. They maybe, if they're high tier, when they can still not shoot you or something, try to bait you, yeah, but I don't know, this seems okay. Yeah, going for the blade afterwards. Alright. Getting decent value there. Escape route's a little bit awkward though, but yeah.
Yeah.
I think afterwards you just probably don't want to end up in the open if you can. Just right after you got 2 kills. Like 1, okay, maybe I got another one. And then like here you start your rotation.
I think after that Curie TPs, instead of turning around, I think I'll just go forward into that room.
Yeah, I think it's not too bad. Yeah, at least, well, maybe Monkey chases you. Well, fine. At least the rest of your team is winning here. But now they kill you, and then it's easier for them to also do something else to the backline. Stuff like that. Alright. Yeah, it's a lot of interesting stuff for sure. Well, how we would summarize everything for today? What do you think? What you got out of today?
The biggest thing was the body language thing. That was really cool. Making sure also going in like diagonally, like you said, instead of on like the 90-degree angles. Body language, look for like the scoped in stuff like that. They're not looking at me, so why commit deflect or blink, stuff like that. What else is there? Those are really the big ones that I
Yeah,
think is gonna help out.
yeah, 100%, I think. You also can separate all the scouting on pre-fight, mid-fight, maybe,
Yes, yes,
and then in pre-fight seems that we need to put more attention towards just watch if there's commitment in the kill zone, and then you can
yes,
decide to fight. Okay, so if this is happening, if commitment, we can commit, usually, can do something, just like you did with Clear the Ash, maybe there's something else. The Diva makes a commitment. Okay, I can
yeah,
go after the enemy. Those are kind of bigger scale picture, but there are also some other small things we talked about, the
yeah.
body language or whatever, the just them being scoped in, where their attention and everything. Yeah, that definitely helps. Okay, is there anything else? Well, mid fight. Yeah, and so this pre-fight on the kill zone, and mid fight is more about just it's not only this body language and everything, but it's also when you
Yes.
scout. So, what are the moments of downtime for you? When is the good time to scout? What it looks like?
I know we talked about like the in between shots thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, where like the shots are more automatic in between shots. Be looking around, like when I'm deflecting, look around at what's going on. Um, Especially like that one fight where I got beated and I'm out in the open. I can take the time since I'm beated with the like extra health. I can take the time, take a breather, look around, see what's going on, and then make a
Mm.
decision based off of that.
Yeah, yeah. Nice. I like it. Nice. This is good. Okay. And
And then
let's. Mm-hmm.
one of the big things is what we just talked about, where like that was really eye opening, where my whole team was in mid on this map, and then I'm like fighting that Ash and the monkey on the high ground. It's like that's where I think the feeling of like, oh, I just went in too early, but instead it's actually me trying to make something happen when really nothing is happening at all.
Yeah, and this is true. I think you still kind of use the scouting to look around, maybe check for the opportunities, take one you want to. Like, it's not bad, yeah, but remember the quality. How to do that, yeah, slightly more of when scouting information, also crouch, actually. Don't forget about that, yeah. Like, make yourself, like,
Yes, yes,
make it more sneaky in all the
yes.
engagement, okay. Uh, yeah, so it was mostly about just that a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna put a small note. We gotta make sure to crouch, be sneaky during scouting. And you just typically B fight when the enemy team they have big advantage. In mid fight, you don't have to be as sneaky anymore because they know where you are anyway. So yeah, it's gonna be more faster. All right. Yeah. Do you have any final questions? Is there
Wait,
some?
say that again. Sorry, my
Yeah,
teammates got in the room. They're
that's all
talking
good.
and stuff.
That's all good.
What were you
Do you,
saying?
do you have any final questions about anything for today?
No, I don't think so. That was a lot of help. That was really really good
Nice.
stuff. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Glad to help. Yeah, and so far the angles has been cool. It's good. It's good. Mechanics, I think it's all right. Yeah, obviously, well, sometimes maybe I'm missing something, but for the most part, yeah, we're doing pretty good. So just keep that up. We talked about the angles a lot, I think, before in team reviews too. So definitely shows some good work, and yeah,
Yeah.
that's good. All right. If you're gonna have any questions later, let me know. You can always
Okay.
message me